Hi, welcome back to the section of Sqoop. In this section, we'll see how to import data from your MySQL database to your Hive tables. Okay, see, we have few import functions here which I have readily created. This is a Sqoop import function which connects to MySQL database with port number 3306 to a database called Sqoop B2 in my MySQL using username called root, and it will take employees table. Okay, it will take the employees table in MySQL and it will dump it into employees one table in Hive. Okay, you can use any table. Let's take that employees 460 or something. If this table is not existing, what this command will do is it will create the table in Hive. How do it create? It creates using the structure of this employees table in MySQL in Hive, and then it will import it. It will import the data from employees table to this employees 460 table into Hive. But while importing, as we discussed in our earlier session, it will split the data. The mappers will split the data based on the field called employee number. Okay, let's test this particular command. Okay, this is my Sqoop import function. I'm just giving an enter. So it will connect to MySQL and it will take all the data. Here we are not using any customized query like we did earlier while importing data from MySQL to HDFS. We are taking entire data. That's why it has given something like select star from employees. All the data it will take and it will dump it into Hive. Okay, now my data has been pulled from MySQL. Now it started to import the data into Hive. Let's open another terminal and log into Hive. Okay, Hive import is complete. If you could see here, right, into the employee table called into the table called employees 460 in a default database, because we have not provided any database in our command. We have just given employee 460, so it has gone to a default database in Hive. Okay, let's log into Hive in another terminal. Okay, show tables. When I give show tables without entering into any database, it would give me all the tables that are present in my default database. Yeah, see here we have something called employees 460 table. So when I do a select star from this employee 460 table, I'll get almost like 13 records, because our employees table, oops, okay, this is because our employees table doesn't have any data, because we have used something called employees underscore export in our previous examples. So I'm just re-entering this employees underscore export and just giving an enter. So as soon as my mappers are done, it should be able to dump in the data into Hive, because we know that there won't be any reducers in Sqoop. It's only a map only job. See here, we have retrieved 13 records now. So all these 13 records would be present in employees 460 table in Hive. Okay, employees 460 table is already there, which has been created by earlier command. I'm just dropping. Oops, okay. Because this export directory has been already created, so it is throwing error. Now it should work fine. Okay, my mapper is done by 50%. Okay, Now the total number of records that had been exported or retrieved are 13 records, and all these 13 records should be dumped into employees 460 table in Hive. Yeah, it's done. Let's see these records in employee 460 table in Hive. See here, I got all my 13 records into this employee 460 table. Yeah, now if you could see here, while exporting the data, while importing the data from MySQL to your Hive, it would have created an output out file where it would have first pumped the data into that particular file. From that particular file to Hive table, it will transfer the data. So if you could see here, employees underscore export. Yeah, okay. So okay, so it might have cleaned up after the dumping the data into Hive. Let's see that. Okay, fine. Yeah, because there is an something which we already know that if I do something like describe extended, because we are just forgetting about the basics of Hive, right? Describe extended, when I give this, the file whatever we load it into Hive table will be transformed to Hive defaults Hive's default directory, which is nothing but user Hive warehouse your table name. So if you could query here, if you could see this, you'll have your file in this path. See here, the files whatever we had exported or imported from MySQL would be transformed to Hive default directory. Okay, this would have your actual data whatever you had retrieved from MySQL. Okay, this is how you import data from MySQL to Hive table. Even though Hive table is not existing, we are creating that particular Hive table and importing the data. Okay, let's look at other commands. Like from Hive to RDBMS, how do we export? So this is the command which we do use to export data from Hive to RDBMS, because now that we have seen how to export data from RDBMS to Hive, now we'll see from Hive to RDBMS. It's simply a Hive export, and the connection would be same. Using JDBC connectivity, we'll connect to MySQL. We are connecting to something like Sqoop B2, and table is employees staging exp underscore staging 2. Let's see if let's open another terminal and see. Yeah, Sqoop B2 is my database. So select count of star from okay, so employees will use something like staging. Okay, it has a count of 0. Now we'll import the data into this particular table from Hive. Okay, so employees 460 is our table name, so we should take our data from employees 460 and dump it into Hive. Okay, we are using something called \001 because that is the default delimiter. It's nothing but and control A character is the default delimiter in Hive. That's why we are using something called fields are terminated by \001, because that's how our fields will be terminated. Okay, so I'm just using this export option. I'm using 4 mappers because I have 4 output files in my output directory, right? So I'll use this export option. Which would take the data from this particular path, which is a Hive default path. From this path, it will take all the data and it will dump it into your employees exp staging table, which is in my Sqoop B2 database. If you could see here, 13 records has been exported from Hive to MySQL. So let's see that if we got entire records or not. Yes, I got all the 13 records back to my MySQL database into the table called employees exp staging. So this is how you export your data from Hive to MySQL. Hope you had enjoyed watching this video. Thank you so much.